This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Purple Rain, a musical drama from 1984 directed by Albert Magnoli, starring rock star Prince and telling a fictionalized version of his rise to fame. Prince portrays a version of himself simply named The Kid, fronting a band called The Revolution, playing at a nightclub out in Minneapolis. While he's talented, he uses his music to pour out his anger about his home life and other troubles, which frustrates other band members who want to play their music on stage. Meanwhile, a rival band leader named Morris is trying to push the Kid out in favor of a girl group he's forming, going as far as to recruit the Kid's girlfriend. As his life seems to fall apart around him, he comes to learn what needs to be done to bring down the walls he's built up over time. Hopefully that doesn't spoil the story. The overall plot isn't fleshed out all that much, being streamlined and focused almost entirely on the Kid, his angst, and his music. It does fall back a bit on formula, and at a few points it's more scattered and event-driven than truly flowing from one scene to the next. But it's forgivable since it's masked by the actual character performances, which are the highlight of the film and what really keep things moving along. It's a bit interesting to see Prince in action as stoic, when most leads would probably want to try to prove themselves as actors. In a more traditionally dramatic way, I mean. But it comes through in a natural and realistic manner as he slowly opens up to those around him. Meanwhile, everybody else shows a nice variety that both makes up for his repressed emotions and balances out the greater conflicts, whether it be tension within the band or between the Kid and Morris. It's still in service to a somewhat bare-bones script, but it still makes for some excellent drama at times. Obviously, the most important element in all of this is the music, all of which comes from the album of the same name, unless it was the other way around. Anyways, the songs are either played over montages or integrated into the movie as performances, rather than just being slapped in as a traditional musical number. It hardly takes away from their efficiency as emotional milestones, of course, working to illustrate the Kid's feelings and fears and how they're eventually expressed through his music. It's a sign of good story writing, making the music feel more naturally present than in most jukebox musicals, using the deeper themes of each individual song to help move the story along, rather than try to write the movie around their lyrical content. I feel like that's the more common tactic anyways. Moving on, the film's production and artistic design is balanced well between a spastic or charged presentation and something calmer and serene at times, obviously in tandem with the tone of a scene and the Kid's own emotional state. Cinematography is sweeping at times, especially during concert scenes that need to cover a lot of ground within a short amount of time, and it accomplishes that sort of coverage well, with a tight editing style that knows when to show the Kid at play and when to show how his music is affecting others. Outside of concerts, editing keeps things slow, not uneventful, but a definite contrast. Montages, as few as they are also cut well, showing things that may not have been seen before, without overwhelming the viewer with all of this new information. Most of all, there's an underlying sense of beauty underneath everything, even in the movie's darkest moments. One which seems reflective of the Kid and others around him, whose harder shells are hiding something truly unique that is itching to be shared if it had a chance. The archetype may feel a bit played out these days, but it could easily be that this movie was the prototypical version of the young, tortured artist. Even if that's not actually the case, it gets it right, as well as just about everything else you need in a story like this, where it's not so much about the story, but the characters and how they deal with everything. I feel like I'm getting redundant at this point, so I'll just cut it here. Purple Rain, Albert Magnoli, 1984. 4.5 stars. I definitely recommend giving this a watch. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have something to add, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. If I ever make that list of movies with great soundtracks, this one's going on there. Maybe it'd be easier if I just made a playlist for my channel instead.